So now we all know about the ongoing issues between Russia and Ukraine. Russia has officially declared a war on Ukraine, and as of today is the day 8 of this entire scenario. So definitely there's a lot of haywire in the market. The global stock markets have taken a massive hit. Now, for example, the Nasdaq market is almost down by 13%. S&P 500 is down by 10%. Nifty is down by nearly 4%. Even if you see the Russian currency, which is your ruble, it is actually weaker than the Indian currency as well. So definitely a lot of chaos is happening in the market. If you see the market sentiment as well, the market sentiment is an extreme fear for both Indian market and the US market. So in this video, we'll actually understand how this entire political issue or how this entire war scenario will have a massive impact on the Indian economy. Now, if you do find this particular video useful, make sure you do like it and you do subscribe as well. So now there's a lot of tension which is happening in the market that the crude oil prices will just continue to go up, because of which the economy will continue to crash, which is not true. Yes, Russia is a big exporter of oil, no doubt about it, right? Russia pumps almost about 10.5 million barrels of crude oil per day, and globally, it has about 11% of the global crude oil production. Now, definitely, the crude oil is currently trending at a 7-year high. The Brent oil price is more than $100 for the first time in the 7 years. Now, because of this, it does affect the Indian economy, but at a very minute scale. And the main reason is because India's import of crude oil from Russia is very minimal. Now, if you see this particular chart over here, this chart shows all the countries where Russia actually exports oil. Now, if you see in Asia, you have other countries which account for nearly 3%. In that 3%, India only accounts for roughly about 0.8%. So it is less than 1% is what India actually imports oil from Russia. Now, because the oil prices are going up, this does impact the Indian economy in a minute way, and this is majorly because of the fiscal deficit. Now, fiscal deficit in a very simple term is the government's total revenue minus the total expenses. And because of this, the inflation can get affected slightly more. You can expect a slightly more inflation in the upcoming days. Second thing, what people are actually missing out is that this is not the first time that the oil prices have actually gone up. Back in 2008 or 2009 also, the oil price went all the way to a peak of nearly $180. Now, whenever the oil prices goes up, it has a direct impact on the other production units, wherever oil is an input. Now, for example, your lubricants, footwear, airline industry, shipping industry. So all these cases where oil is a byproduct or oil is an input does get affected purely because their cost price for producing those units or for producing those goods and raw materials increases. Third main thing is to know about the multiple sanctions which is currently made by the Western government. Now, this has a minimal impact on the Indian economy, but it has a small minute impact when it comes to the banking sanctions. Now, for example, it will have an impact in terms of the Indian exporters. They might find their payments getting stuck from the Russian buyers. So that can be one of the causes. Now, fourth, and one of the main things to know is about the sunflower oil. Now, Russia and Ukraine both produces quite a lot of sunflower oil and account for nearly 90% of the global sunflower oil production. Now, this is very huge, and India as a country imports quite a lot of sunflower oil. India imports roughly about 25 lakh tons of sunflower oil. So because of this, increase in the prices of sunflower oil can impact the Indian industry, the farming industry, the Indian households, etc. So in summary, if you see the previous historical trends, whenever there has been a geopolitical issue such as a war or a terrorist attack or any other massive issue, the stocks or the stock market does get impacted for a very short amount of time, after which it does get bounced back. So even in this particular scenario, once the situation does get slightly better, the stock markets will bounce back to its normal peak. Also, the Indian government did share its thoughts in terms of where does India stand when it comes to the entire Russia-Ukraine situation. And one of the main reasons for this is purely because of the ongoing issues which is currently happening with China. The government understands that alienating Russia has very small amount of benefits, and China right now is a much bigger concern or a much bigger issue or a much bigger threat for India. So I hope you actually found this particular video useful. I hope you have understood how the entire Russia-Ukraine war situation will have an impact on the Indian economy. Now, if you did find this particular video useful, do like it, do subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.